Being 5:30, we'll call to order the meeting of the Fitchburg Board of Public Works for July 18th, 2022, held at City Hall in the Francis Huntley Cooper Chambers. Attending tonight, we have Alder Wheeler, Michael Granetsky, myself, Dave Wilborn. Kim is excused off tonight. First, public appearances for non-agenda items, and we have Patrick Cheney that would like to say a few words about the Sain Road, water main, and some issues we had. And Patrick has, I will also add, he supplied a letter to us with some information. So go ahead, Patrick.
Patrick Cheney, 5211 Kitty Crest in Fitchburg. I'm the president of the East Fitchburg Neighborhood Association, which includes in our wide area the neighborhood called Greenfield Park Neighborhood, which is south of Irish Lane on both sides of South Sain Road. I've written up a list of questions that I provided to the chair of BPW and District 4 Alder Jim Wheeler, since that is his area, and to the Public Works Director. I would be interested if I could get a written response to this that I could then email to my membership. People in that area, I think, are interested. I'm very interested, and even other people out of that area are interested in both how the Greenfield area water main works and the new South Sain water main that was put in just last year from Aurora Avenue and extending south all the way past Irish Lane.
Very good. I'll just add, there was well, Bill, do you want to just highlight the incident that occurred with the low pressure and the flushing that we had to do?
If you'd prefer, since I
just want to give a small bit of context.
I could finish speaking and then I'll
go ahead.
Sit down. Since I've saved so much time in not reading all this into the record, I will jump subjects drastically and pose a question that I have wanted to ask at BPW at some time when you had a fairly light agenda. Some of your agendas are very heavy, and I didn't show up then. I'm interested in what Public Works might be doing or could be doing to mitigate the mosquitoes that I believe come out of the stormwater ponds that belong to Public Works. And I think of the more and more stormwater ponds that I've seen being created around me over the past 25 years as mosquito breeding swamps and ruining the quality of life in Fitchburg. So I would like to know if there's any efforts that are done or could be done about that to control mosquitoes, or at least test for mosquitoes breeding in there, because I see the water surface quivering. And I would suggest looking into Bacillus thuringiensis israelensis, I memorized it, which is some kind of enzyme something that I believe eats or destroys mosquito larvae. I'm finished. Any questions?
No, I don't have an answer for you on that one. I'll have to get back to you. I have some definite opinions. Let me get it back to you in a written form. That would be all right. And Bill, could we, by the next Board of Public Works meeting, could you have answers for these questions that Patrick has posed?
Yep, I should have them wrapped up pretty quickly.
Patrick, appreciate you coming and printing this out. Okay. I don't believe we have anyone else for non-agenda items, so we'll move on to approval of minutes. Do we have a motion to approve the June 20th Board of Public Works minutes? Moved by Granetsky. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Wheeler. Any discussion? Changes, edits? Seeing none, we'll call the vote. All in favor of the approval of the minutes signify by saying aye. Aye. Minutes are passed. Next, we'll move to our review items, review of utility, P-card purchases, and checks. So just give me a minute to page down. Get my mouse to work. Open it up to the board if they had any questions while I'm struggling here.
I just have one. It's on page 3 of 4 of It's check number 123633 to KL Engineering for, all it says is design storm. What's a go-to, Bill, per se, other than just design storm for $6,448?
I'm not exactly sure which project this one is for. I think it's for the Lacey and Seminole intersection.
For Seminole?
For Lacey and Seminole. I'd have to look and see what that account number is tied to.
I believe that would make the most sense as far as what projects they have on, currently going on. Can you follow up with the email on that, Bill? Just to
Yep.
confirm?
That's all I had on the checks.
Okay. Michael, Jim, you have any questions? I do not either. Thank you. And we'll move on to agenda item 5, report from department head. Bill, take her away.
We still have well 4 offline. We're starting to put things back together again. We should hopefully have it back together and operational by Friday. So we found some corrosion on the couplings there. We've got the bacterial microbes in there that like to eat the iron, and this time they just attacked the couplings for some reason. They suspect that it had something maybe to do with the grease that they put it together with, that they really like those like that, and you can just see like little boreholes through there. And so we did the column pipes need to be replaced along with the couplings, and so we're getting that done. The pipes are coming in this week. It seems to be, the trend going around the area in our different aquifers that these microbes are in there, and we're at a level of water right now that they just seem to be coming out. And so we're going to have to do a little bit more maintenance, more frequent maintenance. We've been pulling our wells every 7 to 8 years and inspecting them and repairing any pieces that need to be repaired. But I think based upon what the experts are saying, that we have to increase that cycle a little bit. And we are looking at some treatment options for these microbes that are out there to stall them off a little bit. But there's nothing we can really do to keep them away. And so we've got some options that we're looking at for the system itself right now, so that we can get it back in operation. And hopefully by the end of the week, we can get that out going again.
Bill, are you aware of any other municipalities having this? We've had 2 now.
I'm going to check around.
Could you ask?
Yeah. It's an interest of mine as well. I just haven't had a chance to check into it since we got the report.
We use the same contractor, to do all this, do the work for us. Is there something in their equipment, that's getting in there when we're installing it? Or you think it's actually naturally in the water?
In the aquifer, yeah.
It is?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Can we, in lieu of pulling, can we televise like we do with our sewers to get a picture of it?
Not really. You can see some of the corrosion and the colonies that develop on the casing pipe and column, but you never would have seen what's going on in the coupling.
Okay.
When we pulled the column pipe out, it was actually loose.
Oh.
So you wouldn't have seen that until you started to move it.
You have a interval that you're thinking of using instead of 7 to 8 years? Are we looking at 5? Are you looking at half? Any sense of what you're?
We don't. We still have to have those discussions with the contractor to see what would make the most sense.
Well, the board would be interested if other people, if it's in or in the same aquifer with a lot of other communities, if they're seeing it. This is the first time. Not that I'm involved in other municipalities' water systems, but this is the first I've heard of, something like this. So it doesn't, I suppose once we get it up though, once the water comes up, we chlorinate it, so the same thing doesn't happen to our cast iron, pipes in the city, where the water's carried, does it? Or-
Right, right.
Okay. All right. Anything else? Or let me ask you this. We approved an emergency, work order to evaluate this. Are you have a sense of, what it's gonna cost compared to, what we initially approved?
I don't know what we initially approved. We do have a change order coming forward with, we had to replace the column pipe and couplings.
Yep.
So that was, we estimated what it was, but we didn't anticipate doing the entire thing.
Okay, all right, so the board's aware, there will be, when these things happen, we take our best guess what it's gonna be and write them a PO, but until we get in there, okay. All right, anything else?
We got a few subdivisions out there, getting ready to roll. The townhomes off of Notre Dame Drive is looking at the first part of August to get started out there. And, the Highfield Reserve, that's the area south of Fahey Fields. That one is ongoing right now. Crescent Crossing is, wrapping up most of their construction. They have some water main to put in, but, their third phase is, getting close to getting ready to get paved and concrete and everything, so.
When I came down today on my bike, I saw there was a large backhoe right along Lacey. Was that the water main that they're putting in there?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Got a sense then how long it'll be till the bike lane's extended down? It's probably not.
Yeah, they'll be extending that right as they go, so they'll extend that to their plat limits where we're going to do the intersection improvements next year. So they'll be close to where we're going to pick up and go.
Okay, sounds good. Any questions for Bill? Thank you, Bill. Next, we'll move on to our agenda items. First is Resolution 5 Alpha R 12922, approving change order with Engberg Anderson for the contract for services for North Fish Hatchery Road Hub Phase 1, final design, and we postponed this from last time. Do we have a motion to approve?
I'll move approval.
Moved by Wheeler, do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Wilborn. So we received a letter. Dave and Michael, did you get the letter that Bill sent, where it outlined what their justification for the change order was?
I don't recall seeing that one.
Do you have it in front of you? Can you just give us the Reader's Digest?
Sure. Originally, the contract was entered into with the firm for $2.4 million for Phase 1, and it did not include the social gathering structure and the design fee associated with that. So that was one of the questions you had. It's like, if you take that out, why didn't the fee go down? And that's why it was never included in the original design. The increase in the cost did come from adding the increased hard court and amenities for the pump track, as well as the increase in costs associated for that construction. And then, the overall construction design fee went from 9.8% of the construction project to 7.9%. And the other question that you had was with regard to the change in subcontractors for switching from Strand to EOR, and it's the engineer that was with Strand moved to EOR, so they took the contract with them to that company.
Okay, that makes sense. Actually, I deal with change orders quite often in my business, and critical thing, for my clients, I'm pretty successful in collecting them. As soon as we recognize the change in scope, we notify the client. This is what we're seeing. This is a change of scope. We'll give them an estimate, and we ask for approval before they move on. Did we get that notification from them, or did we just get, here's a letter, we need a change order?
No, they've been not working since they've been waiting.
Okay, That's what I needed to hear. All right, thank you, Bill. 'Cause Alder Wheeler, a couple of years ago, we had a project on Lacey Road, and it was a big change order from MG&E because some work coordination got changed. And they just assumed, all right, your city, you're gonna pay it, and it was justified, but they didn't ask, didn't tell us about it, and so we beat them up pretty good, and I got them to concede some money. And so we never wanna go down that road. We always want them to ask, and then we can decide if it's justified or not, so. All right. Any other questions on this? All right, we'll call the vote. All in favor of Resolution R 12922 signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Next, we have 6 Bravo, Resolution R 13222, approving agreement with K&L Engineering for construction-related services for 2022 South Sain Road reconstruction. Do we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Moved by Granetsky. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Wheeler. Bill, you want to run us through this?
Sure. At the council meeting on June 28th, they approved the contract with Speedway Sand and Gravel for the intersection, for the Sain Road reconstruction. And that was to the tune of about $5.8 million plus contingency. So we were planning on bringing forward the contract for KL Engineering to do the construction engineering at that point, but we received their documents a little bit late in the day, and we had to do some funding rearranging to be able to accommodate that in the stormwater area. So we weren't able to take the contract through for approval at that meeting. So we are bringing the contract forward to do the construction management of this project for 2022 and 2023. And their proposal is for $396,000, and we added $10,000 for contingency in there as well. This would allow a full-time engineer to be the project manager for this, as well as provide the inspection services for the project, which we don't have the staff right now due to turnover and just being able to dedicate a whole person to this job.
Do you have any issues with the same firm that did the design, doing the inspections?
No, we haven't had that issue in Fitchburg. We had the same area inspector do the construction for Fish Hatchery Road.
Okay.
And very confident in their abilities to do this work.
Okay, that's what it was. That's what I wanted to hear. So this ends up being, if we looked at 5.8, we're in 6 or 7% of the project cost. Is that in the ballpark?
That's in the ballpark.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Board members, do you have any questions on this? When will this start, Bill?
They are looking at, I thought it was mid-August, mid to late August for a start.
Okay, thank you. All right, we'll call the vote.
I have one more
Go
question.
ahead, Dave.
When I'm reading through it, services not provided under this contract, now, are they getting some of that, or are we going to be doing that?
Those are the areas that the city's going to be doing.
They're gonna take care of those?
Yes.
All right. Want to make sure. All right, thanks.
Yeah, we took off what we could handle, and so that the price isn't what it could have been. So.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, we'll call the vote. All in favor of Resolution R 13222 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Next, 6 Charlie, Resolution R 13822, purchase of pedestrian lights for second addition to Terra Vesa. Do we have a motion to approve?
I so move we approve Resolution R-138-22.
Moved by Wilborn. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Granetsky. For the people watching, what are the pedestrian lights?
If you go out into the Terra Vesta neighborhood, that's the area that's east of Highway 14, Highway MM, off of Lacey Road there. Those are the big, tall, black poles that you see with the decorative globes on top of them. And we purchased these in order to obtain the warranty for the fixtures. The original owner has to, for this particular fixture and pole, have to own them or purchase them. So we purchased them. The developer reimburses the city the full cost of those for the installation and the purchase.
Why are they deemed pedestrian lights instead of street lights?
They're a smaller scale light. Typically, our street lights are 30 feet tall. These are 18 feet in height, so they're more pedestrian scale, not as tall.
Yes, because do they meet, I don't know, say, we don't have a requirement, but, you know, clear sky, are they compliant? Do you have any
Yep,
sense?
dark sky compliant.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Any questions from the board on this one? All right, call the vote. All in favor of Resolution R 13822 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Next, our next Board of Public Works meeting is Monday, August 1st. If any of you can't make it, let me know. I'm not anticipating Kim being able to attend that one, so if, let me know if you're not going to be able to make that. So at this time, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I move adjournment.
Moved by Wheeler, do you have a second?
Second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? We are adjourned.